Please subscribe to Gauri Tutorials YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you could get the notification of new videos as the time of upload.
Today we are going to study about health and disease. In this chapter we are going to study about malaria. In the previous video we discussed about typhoid and pneumonia. In this video we are going to talk about the protozoan disease, that is malaria. The pathogen of malaria is Plasmodium species. It has got many species which lead to the development of this disease. So Plasmodium is a positive organism. Now how this Plasmodium or pathogen is transmitted? It is transmitted by the bite of female Anopheles mosquito. It is to be noted that only female Anopheles mosquito bites human beings, and that is because when the mosquito has to lay eggs, then it needs a high protein diet, and the blood of the humans are high in protein, so they bite the humans to suck the blood for the protein requirement. So it is, this disease is transmitted at that time when the mosquito bites the humans. And regarding the incubation period, that is around 12 to 28 days. It needs 12 to 28 days for the disease to spread. Now regarding the pathogen, pathogen or Plasmodium, that is digenetic. Digenetic means that it has got two hosts. First host is female Anopheles mosquito. This is also called as primary host or definitive host. Now why is it called definitive host? Because in this case, in the mosquito, the sexual stages of the parasite are present, and the second host are the human beings. This is called as intermediate or indefinite host. That is called indefinite host because the asexual stages of the parasite takes place inside the human beings. But Plasmodium, it does not harm the mosquito, that it does not cause any disease to mosquito, but acts as vector of the disease. But mosquito, that is Anopheles mosquito, it acts as vector of the disease. Now what is vector? Vector is that organism which does not cause the disease or does not acquire the disease, but is able to transmit the disease to some other organism. For example, in this case, mosquito does not develop the disease, but it carries the positive organism of malaria and leads to the development of the disease in human beings. That is, it carries the disease in the humans. Now that is why it is called as. Now first we are going to study about the life cycle of the parasite, and in this first we are going to discuss about the stages in the humans. Now infective stage in case of humans, that is called as sporozoite. That is when mosquito bites human beings, it injects sporozoite stage of the parasite inside our blood. Now you can see in this diagram also, this green part that is shown as the cycle inside the mosquito, and by this brownish color, that this is the human stage, that what are the different stages which take place inside the human beings. Now first of all, when mosquito bites human beings, it spreads the sporozoites into the blood of the humans, and when it is injected into the blood, sporozoites, they move into the blood, they circulate into the blood, and then they enter into the liver of the humans, where they here it is shown that these are the sporozoites. They enter into the liver of the humans, and then they start dividing, and ultimately they enter into the blood cells, where in the blood cells they also divide asexually in red blood corpuscles, and then they burst the red blood cells to enter into the new RBCs, new red blood cells, to form the stages called as gametocytes. Gametocytes are there are two kind of gametocytes, male and female gametocytes. They further lead to the sexual reproduction which takes place inside the mosquito. Now, what happens when it bursts the RBCs? Then there is release of large amount of toxins into the blood that lead to the development of fever when the large number of blood corpuscles are they get burst at together, so that leads to the shivering and development of fever in human beings. Now the other part of the cycle that takes place in the malarial parasite. Now in this case, the gametocytes, we have studied up to gametocytes, that in human blood corpuscles there are formation of gametophytes. Now when these gametophytes enter into the mosquito, now how they enter into the mosquito? When again any other mosquito bites us, these gametocytes are taken up by the mosquito along with the blood which it sucks from the humans, and these gametocytes, they lead to the formation of gametes, that is male and female gametes, which fuse to form zygote. So next stage is the formation of zygote. These all stages, they are taking place, again we are talking that these all stages, they take place inside the mosquito, and these gametes, they lead to the formation of zygote, and zygote later on forms a motile structure that is called as ookinete, which forms a cyst on the wall of the stomach of the mosquito, and that is called as oocyst. This oocyst develops on the wall of the stomach of the mosquito. Now inside the oocyst, the sporozoites are formed, which again repeat the cycle, that is they enter into the they are released in the stomach, and then they move through the digestive system into the salivary glands of the mosquito, and when again the mosquito bites the human beings, it releases these sporozoites inside the humans, as we discussed in the previous slide. So in this way, whole of the cycle of the malarial parasite takes place, and we saw that in human beings only asexual stages are there, so it is called intermediate host, while in the case of mosquitoes sexual stages take place, so it is called as definite host. Now let us quickly revise the different stages which we have studied just now. First of all, when the mosquito bites the human, it releases sporozoites, and the sporozoites, they enter into the blood capillaries, and ultimately they reach the liver, where they start growing. The parasites, they start growing inside the liver, and then they enter into the RBCs and reproduce asexually. Then they burst the RBCs and they form the gametocytes. Now these gametocytes are again taken up by the mosquito. Now when the blood corpuscles, they rupture, this stage is called as schizont. In this stage we will study about these stages in higher classes. Now these lead to the release of certain chemicals which are harmful for our body, and these substances, when they reach the hypothalamus part of the brain, there is release of pyrogens, immune cells, they release to form pyrogens, and these pyrogens, they affect the hypothalamus, and the thermostat of body is set at the high temperature, and we experience fever. And secondly, when the lot of blood corpuscles, they rupture, that lead to sudden decrease in the body temperature, and that leads to shivering at that moment. So that is why we find that during malaria, suddenly there is shivering, and thereafter very high fever. Now regarding the symptom of the disease, first symptom is the loss of appetite. When a person develops malaria, then there is loss of appetite. That person does not like to have food, and there is also sleeplessness. Person is not able to sleep properly. Also there is muscle pain, and fever while after shivering, as we discussed in the last slide that why there is shivering, that there is destruction of large number of blood corpuscles at the same time, and due to the release of certain substances which lead to development of pyrogen and leading to the high fever. And after the fever there is profuse sweating, that is also a symptom of malaria. Now next cycle of fever takes place after 48 to 72 hours depending upon the different species. Now I already talked about this thing that Plasmodium has got different species, and their cycle is different. That is when they enter into new blood corpuscles and they damage the corpuscle and enter into new RBCs. The time period for that varies in the different species, and that is why there is onset of fever after 48 hours or 72 hours depending upon the type of the species. Now regarding the control of malaria, quinine is the primitive drug which is primarily used for the treatment of malaria. Now there are certain other drugs which are also available. Now prevention, that is the best cure. We can prevent the growth of mosquitoes around us by not allowing the stagnant water around our surroundings. We can use mosquito repellents to prevent ourselves from mosquito bites, which is the best cure, preventive measure which we can adopt for preventing ourselves from this disease. So this was about malaria. I hope you would have understood about the basics of the disease. Thank you.